This Chrome extension just broke the internet. It makes your AI agents actually smart. No more reprompting, no more blind bots. This thing watches what you do and automates it for you, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works today. You've probably tried AI agents before. You set one up, it looks amazing, and then 5 minutes later it asks you the same question again. What project is this for? What context should I use? What did we talk about last time? It's like hiring someone with amnesia. Every single day they wake up and forget everything. That is the blind agent problem. And it has been the #1 reason AI agents are still frustrating to use in 2026, but Toggl and OpenClaw just fixed it together. Let me break down what these two tools actually are, and then I'm going to show you how they work together in a real example using the AI Profit Boardroom so you can see how powerful this actually is. First, OpenClaw. OpenClaw is an open source, self-hosted gateway for running AI agents. What that means is you can run your own AI agents across apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, and more. It has tools for browser control, media handling, and connecting to pretty much anything you want to automate. It's free. You host it yourself. And it's been getting a lot of attention because it gives you full control without handing your data to a third party. Now, here's where it gets interesting. OpenClaw on its own is powerful, but it has that blind agent problem I just talked about. It doesn't know what you've been doing. It doesn't know which project you're working on. It doesn't know what browser tab you had open 5 minutes ago. So every time you start a task, you have to re-explain everything from scratch. That's where Toggl comes in. Toggl, or more specifically ToggleX, is a Chrome extension, and it runs silently in the background. It tracks your tab activity, how long you're focusing on something, what your intent seems to be based on what you're clicking and reading. And it structures all of that data into sessions and projects. So while you're working, Toggl is quietly building a picture of exactly what you're doing and why. Then when you trigger an OpenClaw agent, Toggl feeds that live context straight into it through a dedicated skill. Your agent now knows what project you're on. It knows what you've been working on today. It knows what you looked at for the last hour. It's not blind anymore. This is a massive deal. Let me show you why. Let's say you're running the AI Profit Boardroom. You've got content to create, members to follow up with, automations to build, and partnerships to manage. It's a lot. And if you're using AI agents to help, the last thing you want is to spend 10 minutes explaining context every single time. With ToggleX running in your browser, here's what happens instead. You spend your morning reviewing member feedback in the AI Profit Boardroom dashboard. You're reading comments, looking at which lessons people are getting stuck on, checking what questions are coming up most often. Toggl is watching all of this silently, building a session around it. Then you open OpenClaw and say something like, based on what I've been reviewing this morning, write a short training post for the community that addresses the most common question. And your agent already knows what you were reviewing. It doesn't ask, it just does it. That is the power of contextual awareness, and that is what ToggleX unlocks. Now let me get into the technical side a bit because I want you to understand how this actually works under the hood. ToggleX runs as a Chrome extension. It captures three main things: tab activity, meaning which sites and tools you visit and when; focus time, meaning how long you actually spend on something, which helps the system understand what matters versus what you just glanced at; and intent, which is inferred from your browsing patterns. If you spend 20 minutes in a Google Doc, 5 minutes in Notion, and then open a video editor, Toggl starts to understand the shape of that workflow. All of this gets streamed as structured data, projects, sessions, timestamps, context. And OpenClaw agents can pull from this via a dedicated Toggl skill inside the OpenClaw framework. The result is an agent that feels less like a tool you have to manage and more like an assistant that actually pays attention. Now, here's the open loop I want you to keep in mind as we go through this. The demos that have gone viral in late February 2026 are showing this being used for two specific things: Notion agents and video skills. And I'm going to get to both of those in a second. But first, stick with me, because the automation angle here is the part that most people are completely missing. The automation angle is this: Toggl doesn't just help your agent respond better in the moment, it builds a history. And over time, that history becomes incredibly valuable because OpenClaw can look at weeks of your Toggl data and start spotting patterns, repetitive tasks, workflows that happen every week, decisions you make the same way every time. And when it spots those, it can start automating them. So you stop doing the thing manually. The agent does it for you, not because you told it to, but because it watched you do it enough times to understand the pattern. Think about what that means for running a community like the AI Profit Boardroom. Every week you do certain things. You check which content performed well. You write a roundup. You follow up on member questions. You update the content calendar. These are all repeatable. Toggl sees them all. OpenClaw learns them. And eventually you barely have to touch them.